So, it was a question of anatomy, as hers was atypical. Though it didn't show up on imaging, the common hepatic artery was not in its normal position. And a less experienced surgeon wouldn't have known to look for that.
An experienced actor. Everything he touches turns to gold. He stars as the unsavory Dr. Randolph Bell in City's new hit medical drama called The Resident. Please welcome the busiest guy in the biz. Bruce Greenwood is back. It's about time you come back and visit. He's kind of busy. You know what I'm saying, Sid?
Uber busy.
And you were fangirling.
Oh, well, 13 days. Sorry. I mean, I hate doing this because you've done a million great things.
A million.
I hate to just mention one great thing you've done, but 13 Days is one of my favorite movies. I thought you were fantastic.
Thanks. I'm glad. Yeah, thanks.
You must get that all the time from everybody, but let's talk about this role first. It airs tonight, actually, the brand new episode. So get everybody up to speed. You play the surgeon.
The unsavory.
Unsavory.
Dr. Bell, I'm not really sure unsavory is entirely fair.
He's sort of unraveling.
Reprehensible,
let's say that.
maybe? No, unsavory. Yeah. Unsavory is probably fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a guy, he's reached his best buy date, this doctor, and the wheels are slowly wobbling off, but he doesn't want to admit it. And for a long time, he's been sort of hiding this tremor, and he enlists young interns to help him conceal this problem, and sort of leverages them into having to help him by threatening to have them removed and that kind of thing. So his bedside manner is not perfect. And in this particular episode, he's charged with operating on a very, very sensitive patient, very wealthy guy who's going to bring a lot of money into the hospital. And of course, the rest of the hospital's going, oh, I'm not so sure you should be. Maybe not with the scalpel this time.
I mean, you were on St. Elsewhere back in the day, and for the kids watching, one of the great shows of the '80s, St. Elsewhere, and some of the great actors of our time came out of St. Elsewhere, obviously. How have medical shows changed, in your opinion?
Well, mostly the difference between that show and this show is I don't think on this show you could get away with a doctor with a mullet.
You rocked that hair.
You never know.
He rocked the heck out of that hair. You still do.
Wow.
I need to talk about 1 week ago, just over a week ago, we were watching the Oscars, and yet another brilliant film that you were part of was called The Post with no big deal Meryl Streep. So it was up for Best Picture, as well as, of course, Meryl Streep, yet again, the perennial favorite for Best
nominations,
Actress.
I think.
Yeah. And working alongside also, Tom Hanks and directed by Steven Spielberg. What's that all like? Because you are so brilliant and seasoned, and then Meryl Streep's in your face.
Well, I mean, just looking down the call sheet that lists all the actors that are working on any given day, it was like, well, I would have given anything to work with any one of these people at any one time in the distant future, And there they were, all of them, and you walk on the set, and Steven's there, and Meryl's there, and Tom's there, and it was surreal and overwhelming and really fun, super gratifying.
And Meryl's just super cool to be around. And
oh yeah, just incredibly easy. And then you start working a scene with her, and it's totally
awe-inspiring.
The content of the movie, obviously, the Washington Post and a presidency that people don't trust. Interesting topic considering the times that we somewhat live in right now. You guys think of that while you're making this movie?
Well, that's one of the reasons Steven wanted to make the movie this year, is because the attacks on the press are becoming so pervasive and so obvious that to remind us and remind the press itself that they have a responsibility that they can't abandon. Otherwise, all is lost. That was got to do it.
Takes us back to a time of integrity and authenticity as opposed to fake news, which is something we hear of all the time.
It takes us back to a time where integrity was equally on the shopping block, and reminds us that just because that wasn't a canary in a coal mine, right? It wasn't that if you identify that there's explosive gas in that mine, then it's going to be gone forever. You got to go back in all the time and go, we got to be careful.
And the ethics involved in journalism, that it isn't all about just propaganda and fake news, as it were.
No.
Right.
Right.
I have to also just take a turn here. You know that you sort of erupted all things online when your six-pack was revealed a few months ago.
Oh, right, yeah.
And we have a photo, Sid. This is a surprise for you. You don't know about this.
Oh, I look at six-packs all the time when I look in the mirror, so I'm good.
What is the secret? Do you just think about doing a sit-up and you get a 12-pack? Is this do you work hard at it?
I didn't
help the rest
I
of us.
Pretty hard.
Okay.
But it was no more than a glass of wine, no bread, and no food after 6.
I could do that.
And
I can't do that.
And really just like 150 crunches a day. And
I can't do that.
And
Yeah.
you can, though.
That's,
and,
that's where
I
we
started
have the
waking.
problem.
I started really waking up and going, I gotta do some crunches, like I wanted to.
Right.
You became addicted to crunches.
That's over now.
But that's the difference.
Trust me, it's over now.
It's done.
That's so impressive. I'd rather just wear Spanx. You know what I'm saying? But you couldn't do that because you had to be pretty
Couldn't do
much
that.
half naked for the.
But
the
now
whole
it's
thing.
my wife is going, oh. Literally. I mean, we were like shopping like a couple days ago. She goes,
Really? Tell them to just watch it. Just watch it over again. The Resident airs Monday nights at 9 right here on City, and you're going to be heading to Winnipeg soon for a musical.
yeah, a musical called Strike, based on the 1919 labor strike there. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Always so good to see
Yeah.
you, Bruce. We'll be back with more BT right after this. So impressive. Oh, my God.